What's going on, guys? How we doing out there? Happy Wednesday to everyone. Welcome back. What's going on? What are you guys up to? What's going on? Um, so some bummer news. Well, me personally. Ricky, how the kids? Oh, for last time, I'm not Dana Carvey. Oh, okay, maybe I am. He hasn't done much lately, so maybe Dana Carvey's just streaming on Twitch now. What's going on, Ricky? How you doing, man? So my favorite local electronics store, Fry's, has given up the ghost. I don't know if I talked about it on here before, but it's a predominantly a West Coast electronics store. It's been around since the '80s, and the last couple of years, it's gotten kind of dire in there. The store has literally shrunk from the inside, where like the shelves would get emptied and the supplies would get like put more towards the middle. It was a really weird thing, but yeah, unfortunately today they announced that they're closing the doors after all these years. So bummed to hear that, but combination of a lot of Amazon and a little bit of COVID, I guess, was enough to finish them off. But that, and also my favorite magazine in the world, Cinefex, which is I've been collecting Cinefex magazines since I was a little kid. My first issue I got back in 1983, 84, and had the Ghostbusters on it, and it was just like the ultimate behind the scenes talking about visual effects, and it would come out 4 times a year, and I love the magazine. I've been getting it all those years, and was fortunate enough to actually get written up in it myself for some of my work on the TV shows a million years ago. So for me, that was a dream come true to actually get mentioned. But yeah, exactly, a couple of them, right? But yeah, for me to get mentioned in Cinefex, and this is, 14 years ago. No, what? Yeah, at least 14, 15 years ago. But so for me, that was a high water moment of my time in Hollywood. But yeah, they just announced 2 days ago as well, unfortunately, that they are shutting the doors. So I'm really bummed to hear that. I guess the counter to that is also because for me, Cinefex was always the most amazing magazine because it was always about visual effects and it was practical effects, right? So it was always, how did they do that, right? Using the models, using the right smoke, using all kinds of trickery, right? How they made stuff look real. And of course, over the last umpteen years, it's all been computers, and I contributed to that. Of course, that was my thing. I never worked in practical effects. I always worked in like computer visual effects. But yeah. Anyways, sad note. And then for gamers, if you guys didn't see the notice, but Anthem just got the axe. I guess there was suspicion that might happen, but yeah, BioWare is gonna nuke Anthem, shut it down. Can you imagine? I mean, God, think about how much money. I mean, I don't know, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars they've spent on Anthem, developing all this time, and they're just kind of going, yeah, no, never mind, we're giving up. That's just Now I don't feel so bad about some of the times I've spent like weeks or months working on a game idea and then just shelving it, just tossing the trash can and kind of going, God, I can't believe I wasted that much time. But yeah, it ain't Anthem. But yeah, so anyways, that was in the news. Enough of that. So where are we at? So if you guys remember, I was plugging away on the Captain, just doing some work on that, right? Doing the animation, and of course didn't get that far because I was chatting too much, like this. But so anyways, I'll show you where I am now. I made a good chunk of headway since 2 days ago. Oh, and let me turn on number one here. There you go. Although she's not going to move, but at least it gives context.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
And the Tribble's back as well.
What?
Oh, oops. I got more than that. I just didn't stretch out the timeline there. Let me do that one more time. Obviously, you haven't done the lip sync yet. That's probably what I'm going to touch on today, is start. I've not finished all the animation. You can see I've gotten to around here, which is around 490 frames versus the 700. But once again, that's still a good chunk of change. I mean, I generally try and do, like I said, 3 seconds a day, and that was a lot more than 3 seconds. But part of it's cheating, part of it is because I haven't done the face and the lip sync yet. But and then part of it's just because he's hanging out in some of these elements and some of these parts of the scene here. But anyways, here you go, one more time.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
And the tribble's back as well.
What?
It's back.
No.
Yes.
No! Lock the ship down!
Sir, it's just a tribble.
Do it! Security.
All right.
Floor to floor.
And that's as far as I got right there. You can see that the animation kind of breaks down there, right? He freezes, that kind of stuff. But yeah, that was mostly just yesterday. So I mean, if you guys remember on Monday, I was like just in this area, right? I think I started to do maybe the lift up there, right there. So I went from 120 all the way up to 490. So that was not bad, over 300 frames. Excuse me. But rather than kind of muck through this where he's just going to do that, what I thought I might do is actually go back and start doing a little of the lip sync stuff instead, which I was looking at, and that was why I hit her, because my mouth controls are all right here, and if she's there, she's kind of like in the way. All right, so I'm going to toss out the that and toss out that, just give myself a little more space here. There you go. So if you guys remember, it's been a long time since I've done this, but I have these mouth lip sync controls set up here, so I have different things like I close. It says close and in. I guess I can use it for an in, but I'd have to open up the mouth a little bit. But I call this one closed / in. So closed if I want to go right, bring the mouth closed. Ooh, right, kind of like oh, more like oh, right. So if I want to do a big thing like that. So you see, it's not just the mouth opening, but it's also the contraction in there as well. And then the F and the V, right? So that's, there you go. Yep, get some of that. Sometimes I cheat it by opening the mouth a little bit along with it. What you'll see is I tend to not just use one. I tend to blend a couple of them together just to kind of get that exact sort of lip sync. And then E, like that. And then I and H. Oops. Yeah. Little difference there. I don't know if you can see. It's sort of like the lower is coming down and going to the side, where the upper part of the mouth is kind of contracting inward, whereas E is much more of a going big, right? So E be like, E goes big like that, but an I and an H, right, is more like right. So. And then T and an S, that's more like that kind of thing. And then, of course, just if I want to open up the mouth, open wide, so I got that, so I can just do the offsets. All right, so I'm going to shrink my timeline down here so I can just get just a bit of this.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
All right, so then we're going to start right here, where he does the terrific. All right, boost my audio a little bit here so I can hear that a little bit better. So, what's going on with you guys? What's going on out there? Ricky, if you're around, you want to say hello and say anything exciting? I know I took all the good news away, right? Not the good news, but all the latest news, I guess, that was big news about Anthem. And then me personally, also, Fnatic is my go-to source for buying video games. They just partner with another company, which hopefully that's not a bad thing. I guess time will tell. I'd hate to see all my Fnatic purchases kind of go away, but we'll see. So T is happening right there at 90 where he says terrific, but I'm going to kick it in a little earlier. So I'm going to do it at 89. And then the way I do this is I go ahead and I'm not animating all of these, but I go ahead and keyframe all of them. So that way I don't have to worry about, like, when I later on, if I'm animating one and I forget to key it beforehand. It's just, to me, it's cleaner. All animators have their own approach on that. That's just my personal preference. Excuse me. All right, so I think for this, I'm going to go. So, yeah, remember I was talking about using combinations. So, what I do for terrific is, like that. I can try and do this one. I can try and see if I can bring it. Yeah. So, terrific, but there's a wide T, right? And then there's a narrow T, right? Depending on what the rest of the word is. So in the case of terrific, you don't go terrific, you go terrific. So the T is kind of leading into the part. So in this case, the T is nice, except for the fact, you see how it makes the mouth go wide. So my solution is to use two things like I talked about there. And that way I can go ahead and kind of squeeze it in there. All right, and I did forget to set a frame before then, so like that. So it's like right, and then that should be good. And so this I talked about this a million years ago when I was doing lip sync stuff. This is called plosive. You know, for things that have the like that. Generally, what you don't want to do is just have one keyframe and move on through it. You generally want two, and that helps the face shape to actually, the mouse shape to register. So you see I have like the two keyframes here. You know, you can have a little motion in it. It doesn't have to be frozen, but you don't want to be too much. So, go ahead. That ought to be good. And it varies, but if the word is coming out pretty fast, and the voice talent here, Ed Mace, the amazingly talented Ed Mace, thank you, Ed. Some parts it'll be kind of a peppy cadence. So in those, I generally tend to do it like every 2 frames. If it's something insane, then I'll do it every 1. But you gotta be really careful. If you're doing it on the 1s, then the animation can look very poppy, right? You know, but 2, I think you can get away with. So it go to right. So at this point, yeah. So I'm gonna cheat that the TS back down. That's good. Might do the yeah. So you see I'm using like a combination here of now 3 things here to try and get this ooh sound, right? Make sure I actually got a keyframe on those guys. And highlight that window. Now this one, I'm actually going to go out 3 frames because he does it fast. He starts off and then he draws out the part. So, and so this now I'm going to do is just kind of let it go. Oops. I'm going to maybe let that go a little wider. Move my timeline just a smidge here. Okay, no, not working yet. It's either I need to commit to this one or this one, but I can't go between the 2. I need to like either go more narrow, which I think I may do here. Yeah. So what I want to do is just make this a little bit, just give it a little life. Okay, close. I'm gonna go more narrow here, I think. Yeah, I think what was happening before was that I was narrowing in the beginning, and then when I came out to here, it started widening again, which did this kind of ping pong move, which is always a bad thing. All right. So let's see. I'm just gonna flush this out for a second. I may come back. I think when I get part of the second half of the word terrific in there, we'll see if it's working in context, or I may want to revisit this. But let me just what I'll do is I'll cheat. There you go. No, that didn't give me much. So let's go more here. Yeah, so what it's doing is like what I'm noticing is the edge of the mouth here, and that's what I was concerned about, is that it hits and then it kind of comes in, goes down, and then goes in again. That kind of stepped move is terrible. So I need to That's better, I think.
Sir.
Terrific.
So in this case, we want to go terrific. So we're going to go bigger. Not too much, but... yeah, so that's too much of an extreme change there. So because we're so narrow here. Terrific. Alright, and then you see because he drew that out, you see I have like 3 keyframes in between, but this one, because it's more narrow, I'm going to go 2. And then now we're going to hit the F to riff. I could either do it here, or I could push it one more. I might push my luck and see if I can drag this out one more frame, because he's dragging that whole word out, so. And we'll see. I may move that back. But anyways, let's go ahead and get the F going for the terrific. Alright, so in this case, I think what I might do is just flatten everyone out. Start from scratch here. And let's see. Yeah, what I like, what I like is being able to do the F, right? Because when I do the F natively, remember I was talking about before, it comes in way contracted. This is a part where, kind of like the T in the terrific, the terrific, you know, there's fence, you know, where you come in tight, or terrific, where you're going to be wider. And I want this one to be wider. So I'm going to open it up, and let's see how I can cheat that. Maybe with the ease. And okay, so I don't have to do the widest. Yeah, so let's see if that's gonna play. Terrific. Okay, you know what? That's not working. And the culprit's right there because it goes right? So it's the terrific part of is okay. But I need to start contracting that down here. Like so. Alright, so I think what I can do is cheat this, and that goes wide. Alright, and then let me copy these keys over. See if we're closer here. No, that's still crap. No, it's too much snap there. Alright, I'm going to go against what I said a second ago and see if I can get away with killing this frame of the plosive, because that's just getting a little sharp there. Maybe if I do it beforehand. Let me try that. And then lead into it by an extra frame, like so. Yeah. Okay, the E is late. So let's move everybody up a frame. Okay, I'm going in tighter, but I think I want to go wider here. Yeah. All right. What do I want? Yeah, I really could use another blend shape here with a plosive, mouth closed, but with the wider versus the narrow. But let me see how I can still fake that. No, that's not going to do it. That may do it. Let's see if that gets us closer. See how that looks.
Terrific.
No, still crappy. All right, so, yep. So sometimes it starts out slow. Sometimes it's strange, but I think sometimes when you come back to a rig, right, it's sort of like relearning the tips and tricks that make it work. So as I go on, this will obviously get a lot faster, but right now it's still trying to reacquaint myself with the best way to do some of the stuff here. Yeah, so that's like hitting. Yeah, so not happy. Let's try it this way.
Sir.
Terrific.
Maybe I need to go wider. Ooh, can't go too far. I'm gonna lose that. Like that. Except for this, I think what I'm gonna do is just there you go. I think that's getting us closer.
Sir.
Terrific.
Nope.
Sir.
Why am I off here?
Terrific.
Okay. Might be coming in a little early there.
Sir.
Terrific. Terrific.
Okay, maybe let's got an idea here.
Sir.
Terrific.
That's better. Okay, I think I see what I'm doing wrong here. Yeah, I got the first part here. I'm okay with this now. Let me hit Control S. Have not saved lately. Not that I believe that Maya is going to screw me and crash, and not because I'm too lazy to turn on autosave. Oh yeah, I am. All right, let's try this. Nope. Let's go copy here. Still think I'm coming in too early there.
Sir.
Terrific.
All right, I think this is the idea. So we go wider here for the two. And then we come back here. I think that's what I was missing. Because it's two... That's better.
Sir.
Terrific.
There's a pop in there, though. Right there.
Sir.
Terrific.
Sir.
And that's a little early. Push that. Yep. Push that back a frame.
Sir.
Terrific.
Sir.
All right. All right. So not explosive. So we're gonna make that just one frame there. There we go. Lucini, what up, buddy? Welcome. How's it going? Just starting to do some lip sync stuff and trying to get my head wrapped around this rig again, at least in the lip sync kind of stuff. What's going on with you, man? What's new? I didn't quite finish. I didn't do all 700 frames of his animation, but I did get over 450 frames in since Monday. But what's going on, man? There we go. So we're, yeah, that's better. Now we're warming up. Not much going on, just watching my buddies play some Hearthstone and listening to music. Watching and not playing? Why aren't you jumped in yourself? They won't let you play because you beat their butts every time or something? Excuse me. And, yeah, if you want to share, what's your music selection? Exactly. Nah, it's too easy if he plays. Oh, is that it? That's good. No, quite the opposite. So yeah, I got the Popski. Yeah, Popski, which is the streaming friendly music playing in the background. Not necessarily what I'd be listening to myself. I'd be listening probably to, I don't know, Jurassic Rock kind of stuff, you know, stuff from my generation, stuff that was recorded long before you guys were on the earth. All right, so okay, that's working much better.
Sir.
There we go. So we need to close it for the ick part. Terrific. Okay, let's go a little wider on that. Listening to Jasmine Cephas Jones, Alice, and Uzo. Okay. From musicals, especially Hamilton. Oh, okay. Sweet. Which is on Disney Plus, which my wife actually pulled the trigger on. So I have a chance to watch. Oh, and they're doing, as a side note, they're going to actually do a live production version of Hamilton here in Las Vegas, which is pretty cool. And, oh, Aladdin. Yeah, the original Disney, the original Disney animated one, or I don't know. Did the Will Smith live action one actually have music, or put Aladdin up here? they may. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Disney. What do you mean they're doing Hamilton again? No, no. Here in Las Vegas, they're gonna do. I mean, we have all those shows here in Las Vegas. They have tons of shows, and they're gonna do a production of Hamilton as a live. Oh yeah, well it'll. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they are. Yeah, but I mean that was like I think that one, yeah, a production, exactly, the road production, right? The touring. They always have like the Broadway and the touring group, right? So yeah, this would very much be the touring production version. But yeah, haven't seen it. Haven't actually gotten to see it yet. We just got the Disney Plus. Are you gonna watch it? Yeah, absolutely. I'll get to it at some point. I mean, my TV watching, as I mentioned before, usually consists of half-hour stints during meal breaks. But yeah, yeah. I mean, I've heard so much about it over what's been a couple of years that it's been out, right?
Terrific.
But yeah, I have not actually seen it myself yet. But on the list. All right. So that's looking a little more plausible.
Terrific.
All right. It'd be nice if I had that a little more closed. I like that, but I want it more narrow. Yeah. Everyone else is down. Yeah, that's gotta be good enough. All right. Oops. Squish that down. Whoa, there you go. Look at that. That's it right there. I just moved it up and down and I'm already done. Look at that. Let's crack that open a little bit. There, and then bring it down fully. There.
Sir.
Terrific.
That's okay.
Terrific.
Sir.
I think I want to cheat this in a little more narrow here, because it's still a bit of a jump when he goes into the rest of it. There you go.
Sir.
Terrific.
Yeah, there we go. That'll play. What'd I hit? Just muck up something. Whoa, I did. What did I do? Uh-oh. All right, can I undo what I ever did? Poly extrude. Oh, is that what I did? Hey, try to hit Control S, and I ended up hitting delete everything on my hard drive, which is a hotkey in Maya. Not quite, but it feels like it sometimes. All right, so yeah, I'll play this one more time so you can actually see the progress I made. Since Lucini just drifted in here, apologize to anyone else that saw this before, but you know, there you go. So like that.
The last.
Oh, and then once again, she's not doing anything, but I'll go ahead and pop up number 1 so she's there. Like so. All right.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
And the Tribble's back as well.
What?
It's back.
No.
Yes.
No! Lock the ship down!
Sir, it's just a Tribble.
Do it! Security.
There we go. Oh, it's very quiet? Oh, it is? Uh-oh. Sorry about that.
The last piece of equipment.
All right, let me boost that then. Let's try this again. All right. Let's see if...
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific.
All right. Is that better, or is that too high, too low?
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that.
Still a bit low. All right. Well, hey, we can fix that. Let's go bigger. All right. Try this again. Here we go.
The last piece of equipment is now on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
And the Tribble's back as well.
What?
It's back.
No.
Yes.
No! Lock the ship down!
Sir, it's just a Tribble.
Do it! Security, go floor to floor.
All right. And then that's where it ends. That's as far as I got. But, so pretty far. Do it! So yeah, so you can see, Yeah, you can see all the keys. The red lines indicate keyframes, right? You see the gaps here where I'm just letting them hang out. I may do some idle there, or I may just let them sit. I don't know. But you can see I kind of made it up to realistically 525, so I have, what is that, about 175 frames to go before he's done there. So that was some good headway yesterday. Now it's just a matter of doing some lip sync while I'm hanging with you guys, because obviously when I'm doing the and the mouth is gonna move throughout the whole animation. Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yep. Well, it's just well, that's because that's all I've animated so far. See, that's what you saw me. So here you go. There. So you see the red lines here. That's the mouth animation, but that's all I've done so far, right? So yeah, normally what I do is that, see, there's a little batch that you just saw me work on a minute ago. My personal preference is to go through, at least for 2D animation, and just do all the body animation, and then come back and do the facial, and I do this on 3D usually as well. Just do the facial animation in a lip sync secondary. I'm doing it now just because, you know, I think me trying to chip away at the actual body performance like I was doing on Monday, I think is a little more boring to watch. I don't know, you guys tell me different. It's just because there's a little more of the back and forth, trial and error kind of thing. With the lip sync, I think it goes a little bit faster.
Board, sir.
Terrific.
Yeah, and yeah, there's nothing going on with the eyebrows or the eyes as well. I'll introduce the blinks to that additionally. So
terrific. Good riddance.
Yeah, so now it's like terrific. Now good riddance is what we're up to. He says good riddance.
Good riddance to that whole planet.
There you go. Good riddance to that whole planet. All right. So, yep, this is the process. This little audio right here where he says good, I want to boost that because it's kind of soft. You can see it's small with the little, the waveform there.
Good riddance.
So I'm going to pump that up because I think the word good kind of gets lost there.
Good.
But I'll do that later. Alright, so I think I'll do the G here. And I'll do a 3 keyframe. Once again, I'm doing 30 frames a second, so this would be 1/10 of a second. Lead into when he's going to start doing the mouth pose. Oh, there's a penny outside my door. She's early. She forgot how to tell time. It's not 3 o'clock yet. I'm so disappointed in her. Normally she's much more accurate. So good. So ooh. Have you ever played Spore and or heard about the fiasco back when it was released? No, actually I never did. I don't even know if I ever bought it, much less played it. I'm totally aware of it, right? It's Will Wright, isn't it? Where you create the creature and it sort of has the procedural evolution. But what was the fiasco? Just the fact that he sort of overpromised and underdelivered? Refresh my memory, specifically. Excuse me.
Terrific. Good.
So, good. We start the good here, so I'm going to cheat. Yeah, overpromising. But I think he did that a lot, right? I think that's a frequent kind of thing. There's a couple of those guys that, and I mean, and I understand where they're coming from. Excuse me, because I mean, when you have it on the, you know, on the design sheet, when you have the game doc, right, and you say this is all the stuff this game is going to do, and then sometimes you add stuff that sounds fantastic until you start trying to implement it. You kind of go, how in the hell do we do it? Right? I was actually part of a project like that one time that will never see the light of day. They were trying to do some stuff that the whole time, I'm just an animator on it, right? But the whole time they were talking about, we're going to make it do this, that, and the other. And I'm kind of going, how, and holy hell, how? How could you even, that's not possible with the current technology. And they spent better part of a year before they went, oh wait, we can't do this. Right? So, I mean, I'll give them partial credit. The idea that they want to do things, but it just is too hard to implement. But I think I am right. It is Will Wright, isn't it? That did Spore. Yeah, Spore. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I am right. So I mean, he's done that several times on some of his other games as well, right? I actually don't mind overpromising when it's overpromising on a small amount. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the dividing line, right? It's one thing to say that, okay, we had this idea for this one feature, but had to nuke it just because, it's not feasible. But yeah, when they say it'll do this, and it does like none of that, right? Yeah, just a no-go. Well, No Man's Sky, right, was the more recent example of way overpromising and under-delivering, but the difference for them is the fact that they had so much money that came in, right, through the Kickstarter. But, you got to give him credit, though. That's what I say. Will Wright just kind of goes, well, we tried, but take a look at my next game. Let me tell you about this. You aren't going to believe what this one does. And it's like, yeah, we won't believe it because you keep lying. But, yeah, No Man's Sky, they did. And, I mean, I got it on the, for one reason only, can't get, okay. And what reason is that? Because it seemed to me that they came back after the fact, right? And added, they lied literally 2 days after release. Yeah, and that's evil, right? I remember some of the interviews where he was going over the feature sets and saying that, can you do this? And he goes, oh yeah, absolutely, you can do that, knowing full well that is not the case. So, absolutely, I totally agree with that. But like I said, the key difference, though, is Will Wright just moves on to the next project and just kind of goes, I don't know what you're talking about. That one's fine, right? But at least with No Man's Sky, they came back and added so much content, right? Which I still have it on PS4. And I one of these days I'll pick it up on Steam so I can play it in VR. But yeah, because I was playing it in earlier days, so I spent an hour or 2 hours walking around, zapping rocks and stuff, collecting the ore, and then hiding in my spaceship when the bad stuff would come, and then go do that. And by the 40th time I did that, I just kind of went, this is boring. And I never made it that far. I mean, I'm not a big fan of grinding, obviously. I mean, that's not my thing, so I bailed on that one pretty fast. But I should come back and revisit it now that they've radically changed the entire game. Or at least maybe pick it up on Steam. People were asking about multiplayer 2 days after release, and they just said, wow, servers are going to be crazy, guys, wow, so good. Instead of them saying, yeah, there's no multiplayer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I remember that. There was one where they were looking at the screen, right? And he was asking him, I goes, and he's pointing to it, it's like, yeah, you'll be able to join your friends and come to a planet together, and it's like, I'm lying through my teeth right now. My PC couldn't handle it either way. Yeah, I'm not sure, mine's a little dated at this point. I have a 1080, which is a few years old, but still, thanks to all the cryptocurrency miners, it's still worth a lot of money now, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I have so many games that are on the list, right? That I have so many other ones that I want to play. And what I'm doing now is actually, in the time that I really do have to play games, I've been kind of revisiting some of the old point-and-click adventure games, because the next game after this one will be a point-and-click style classic adventure game. So kind of refreshing my memory. A lot of that comes from my personal memory, the LucasArts games, right? I mean, I've said it before, but Full Throttle, absolutely one of my all-time favorite games, if not my favorite game. It's literally in the top 3, if not number 1. Promising that before launch, like months before, I mean, yeah, okay, I guess. But yeah, but 2 days after, yeah, I agree. That is completely unforgivable. I totally agree. For me, now, I mean, this list does evolve from time to time, but for me, it would probably be Full Throttle. It was such an amazing game. I still have my demo disc. I'd have to dig it out, but I have a demo disc that LucasArts was handing out like crazy, that had 2 games on each side, 1 game on each side, and it was that and the very first Dark Forces game, right? And it was funny because my computer, this is early days. We're talking 486 computers. No such thing as graphics cards. You had 4 megabytes of RAM. 4 meg, not gig, meg, right? Audio was, well, it was none. You either had the chip speaker or something like that. But it was great because it had Dark Forces, and my hard drive was only 150 gigs, so I had to put one game at a time on it and have to uninstall it to make room for the other one. But I played the Full Throttle demo so many times, and when the game came out, I just pounced all over it. I love that Hello Games stuck to NMS and made it actually good, but it was too late for me. Yep, there is a remastered, and it is in my collection. It is. I started to play it again, got sidetracked, but yeah, I loved it. Even has a little Mark Hamill action in there, right? Mark Hamill does the voices of one of the bad guy characters, which was, for him, I think that was early days. Because we're talking, this would have been 96, so I'm gonna have to go look at IMDb, but I think that's sort of like the earlier days when he was just starting to get into voice acting. Yeah, you guys can call me out. Maybe he was doing it before then, but I thought that might have been before his Joker days. But it's a fantastic story, and it's so cool because it's the story about a dude that is the head of a biker gang that gets framed for murder, right, and left for dead, and he has to catch up to his guys and avenge the death of Corley. Yeah, Mr. Corley, right? And it's just, that was such, you think about it, that's such a radical, that's like a movie, right? That really is a movie story, right? It's not like, oh, let me go into Funland and go visit the fun characters. And, it was edgy, yeah, action movie, exactly, right? With cutscenes, with rendered cutscenes, which in that day and age was just insane. Hey, hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Went from being a Star Wars actor being and liked, yeah, absolutely, yeah, I think that happens for a lot of actors too. I think they shift to the voice acting, because they do so many. It's not really good accent. It's just because I've seen Princess Bride so many times that I just do that one line, so I wouldn't try and do it aside from just parroting that. But yeah, anyways, Full Throttle, Extreme Assault. Wait, is it on GOG? Is it actually on GOG now? Oh, it is. This was a game that, another one, this might have been the very beginning of the Voodoo 3D card. So this one, you can see by the jaggy textures here, that's still running on software, right? Not even with the 3D accelerated card. And I might have actually been playing it. I probably did play it. No. The remaster only happened about 3 years ago, I think. Although the older I get, the more time flies fast. But I don't think it's more than just a couple of years ago. 17. There you go. Hey, I guess right. 3.5 years ago. But Extreme Assault was such an amazing game, especially for its time, right? So you play in this helicopter, and you go on these missions with all this beautiful landscape and stuff. Well, beautiful for the time. Trust me, this was gorgeous back then. But what would be cool is that you also transfer down and you go into a tank, and you go on these other missions and you go underground, right? And you take out all these different things. And it came out around the same time as... crap, why am I blanking on it? The spaceship, oh god. Getting old sucks, man. You go underground, and you basically move anywhere, right? It's almost like you're floating in space, but you're going through tunnels, and we just got an update version for it. Too many games, too many memories, and I'm blanking on it. It'll come back to me in a second. But these came out around the same time, right? And both of them were really cool because they had so much joystick input controls. A top-down helicopter game where you got shitloads of upgrades. My teacher gave me with the joystick. Actually brought me joy, but it was so it's a top-down view. Ton of those. So I'm not sure which one that might have been. But yeah, it's just with the advent of the bigger joysticks and stuff like that. It's a shame because I think joysticks are falling out of favor for gamepads now, right? You don't remember? Yeah. But because I have I mean the original Star Wars games, you know, X-wing, TIE Fighter, Rebel Alliance, or X-wing Alliance. What was that one called too? X-wing versus TIE Fighter. All those games I was playing on the big old joystick with the tricked out buttons, and then I picked up the new one, right, the latest Star Wars game, and come to find out that I couldn't play with the joystick. It just, there was too much crap. Well, too many buttons, right? And I had to fall back to the gamepad, which to me is sad because with the joystick you have like just more true control, and right, the joystick you got the thumbstick action going there, you know. They're okay for certain 2D games, but for 3D mostly you need a gamepad. Really? See, I mean, I'm kind of the other way, right? I mean, I was much more into it with the joystick, right? And maybe that's just because that was much more prevalent in the earlier games, the early days. God, it's bugging me now. What the hell is the name of that game? I'll come up with it in a second. Shooter games. Oh, no, absolutely not. No. Absolutely. Shooter games or first-person shooters in particular have to be played, I think, on a keyboard, right? But even that one, too. I had to go to the joystick for the latest Star Wars game. What was it? Force? Damn it. Dude, the brain is absolutely shutting down today. But the most recent one that had the dude from oh shoot, what was it? Star Wars. I'll get it this way. Was it no Force? No, it wasn't Force Unleashed, was it? No, that's not the most recent one. The hell, they don't even have it listed. Okay, see, now I'm just getting pissed. I'm going to parallel universe where all this stuff doesn't exist anymore. So I'm like the movie Yesterday, where I talk about stuff and it's like, what are you talking about? We never heard of that. Fallen Order. There it is. What the hell? Fallen Order. So yeah, I mean, I played all the Force Awakens, Force Unleashed. I played all those with keyboard and joystick, but Fallen Order, just because once again they've introduced so many keys, and I guess that's the style now. You know, you have so many controls that you can't just focus on some of them. You have to have like all of them available, and I had to fall back and just use the stupid gamepad, right? Awesome game, by the way. Loved it. That was a fun one. I was kind of bummed when it ended because I definitely wanted more. So, had a good time playing that one, for sure. Very fun, very cinematic. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not sure, is there anything else coming out? Well, it doesn't matter what's coming out because the Star Wars games were sort of like the exception to the rule, but generally alright man, Lucini, I'll be here. Generally I don't buy new games because by the time I get around to playing them, they're usually on sale for like $5, you know, or like in a humble bundle. So, I don't know if there's much coming out in the near future, but that's alright because I have such a massive backlog of games anyways.
Good.
Alright, so I'm going to plosive. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Good.
And that we go to good. So I'm going to go, for this one I'm going to push the O. Yeah, that's good. I think that's going to play nicely. Alright, and then we come into the D. Yeah. Alright, so one thing I don't want to do is just... You see right now it kind of does a ping pong move, right? Which I always hate that, so... I'm going to see if I can fix that. Maybe good. No, D's good. Uh-oh, Penny's back. She's like, I know what time it is.
Terrific. Good riddance.
And I might push that back a frame. And good is a plosive, so I'll do that for 2 frames. I think I'm going to push this maybe a little wider.
Terrific. Good riddance.
Yeah. It's a fast move, but he says good riddance, like right, just kind of screams through that. So go from D into the R. Let's go like that. Yeah. Yep, I'm cool with that.
Good.
Do I want to make that plosive, or do I want to try and push through that? Let's see. I'm going to try and go through it. So good riddance, so it's re. Maybe back to the E? Yeah. Alright, so... see if that's okay.
Good riddance. Good
Okay, he hangs on the I part of riddance. So, let's do that. That might work. Nope. Nope, it don't work. So the key thing I'm watching out for is I just don't want the mouth to transition to like a narrow to wide like instantly. There has to be more of a gradual transition. Otherwise it kind of gets that flaily poppy, you know, South Park mouth, right? Where it just kind of like cycles through the mouth shapes.
Good riddance. Good
riddance. So this mouth's gonna get a little more closed here. So yeah, Penny's lonely today. Penny's not getting any love from my boob. He's probably just got better things to do today, but that's all right. We got the real one. She's gonna visit here in just a couple minutes. I'm gonna probably shut down here in the near future.
Good riddance. Good riddance. Terrific. Good riddance.
All right, that's too much.
Good riddance.
Riddance. Oh crap. Okay, so it's gonna come back in. Yeah, we'll try it, but this may be bouncy. I'm gonna try and stretch out to 3 frames, see if that makes it smoother.
Good riddance to that whole riddance.
Alright, so here we're going to go ahead and just...
Good riddance to that whole riddance.
And he does that to that, and then, like, the 2, it just kind of disappears. He just goes, good riddance to that. It's almost like it never happens. That always makes it a challenge on the animator when it's just like, it blurs right through. But I'm guilty of, like, you hear me talking, I blur right through my words very frequently. I've had the misfortune of watching some of my own broadcasts, just clicking on something, and it's like, wait, do I really talk that fast? You're back. Welcome. Welcome, welcome.
Good riddance to that. Good riddance.
Okay, I need to come back down here. You're welcome. Alright.
Good riddance.
I need that to be tighter. See if that's better.
Good riddance to that whole.
That's better. Control S. Have not saved it in a while.
Good riddance to.
So,
Good
yeah. I'll jump off here and just talk about games for another second. So I just got my cheap version of my Oculus cable that allows me to connect the PC to my Quest, so I can finally start playing some Steam games without having to, like, set up the lighthouses and all that kind of stuff. So I'm anxious to see how that looks and plays. Do you laugh because I said thank you? It's a normal thing in Germany to say thanks when someone says welcome back. Oh, and you know, in America, when you say welcome back, it's like, what? With all the crazy people. Yeah. Oh, is that what I should do? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not much of a multiplayer anyways, right? And that's playing a game, so I guess I could do that. I don't know. I mean, I have so many games. Just on the VR side, I have so many games. Stupid Fanatical and their like bundles with like VR games. Just in VR alone, I have at least a couple dozen that I need to play. It could be really fun or just generally interesting depending on who you meet. That's true. It's random, right? And there are games in VR chat too. Oh, okay. All right, I'll take a look at that one. But yeah, I'm definitely getting hooked on my my Quest 2 that my wife was so kind to give me for Christmas. They have the Tron game where you throw discs. Really? Okay, so is that VR chat specifically, or is that some general term? Is that the actual app name? Because yeah, you had me at Tron, man. If Arcade 1-Up, if those guys ever make an arcade cabinet with Tron video games on it, Tron and discs of Tron, oh, I'm buying that immediately. There are rooms. Alright, Steam. Oh, okay. Go in there now. Trippy. Play in VR or desktop mode. Although I gotta, I have to get something for the Quest headset. I need to get something that attaches the back because the headset is so heavy, it just pushes on your face. So I need to get something on the back to sort of like counterbalance the weight. Yeah, I know. I read that Daft Punk. When you have two guys, and I guess if they piss each other off, you got the end of the end of the show, right? And some people on Reddit just straight up said, well, if they're not making new songs, then we don't need Tron 2 or 3 technically. Well, as someone that grew up on the first one, I think I'd be happy with them bringing Wendy Carlos back and having Wendy make music for it again. But I'm sure I'm in the minority on that one just because I'm old. So I like the original soundtrack. Not saying that the movie, Riggy, mac and cheese. Okay, that's cool. We welcome back. There you go. Welcome back. We devolved into. Oh, really? Yeah. It just I loved it because the original Tron. We talked about Tron. Yeah, we went on to Tron. VR chat has a Tron room, so then we started jumping on to Tron. God, I'm dating myself, but I was like 10 or 12 when the original Tron movie came out, and I was so obsessed because at that point I was already hooked on film, but the visual aspects, because even then I was obsessed with visual effects, right? And thrilled that I got to like go work in the visual effects industry like I did, but yeah, I mean, Tron was just so fascinating because you're being transported into this fictional world, right? Which now you look back and it's like, it's not pretty necessarily, but for when it was created, the technology was just insane. As for the movie itself, the idea was good, but the actual execution, there's problems. But to be honest, I thought the remake had problems as well. So, I think it's one of those things that I like the idea more than the actual execution. What's even better though is on Disney Plus is the Tron. Oh damn it! The animated series. It was called Uprising. There you go. Tron Uprising, which the animated series, in my opinion, was actually better than the two live-action movies combined. I thought Tron Uprising was fantastic, right? Absolute, complete crime that stupid thing only got one season. Oh, God. Really? That's already now been 7 years ago. Oh, serious, man. When you get older, days go by like hours. Months go by like days. But, yeah. Excuse me. Unfortunately, Disney put it on their XD, right? Which was their precursor to the Disney Plus. Excuse me. Which was like, their premier service. So you had to pay money extra to get to XD. And they were like, well, there's not enough of an audience. It was like, excuse me, well, you put on XD, right? I mean, what do you expect? I mean, how much of an audience was there to begin with? But absolutely, it was such a well-made film. Just visually, it followed more in the lines of.
See how the.
Wait, I don't want the videos, jerk. I want the. Stop. I wanted the pictures. There's literally no pictures? Images. There it is. Missed it. Oh, you mean like right there? Are you talking about that or just, or here? That one? Yeah, the one in the middle? Oh, yeah, that's not actually Tron. That's, one of the... Yeah, that's, one of the other characters there. But, yeah, very stylized. It was following in line with, well, that's a video. It's not an image. So if I click on that, it's just going to, like, load up another commercial. But I'll probably come across it. It smirks really weirdly. But, yeah, so, at least the characters, I think, were actually just 2D, or 3D toon-shaded characters. But, yeah, visual aesthetics-wise, it was following more in lines with the second Tron movie. But story-wise, it was just so much better. Yeah, send it to me. Yeah. But, yeah, really enjoyed the crap out of this one, man. I had so much fun because it was edgier and just better storytelling, I thought. And the other one, too, actually, if I'm going to plug Tron stuff, Tron 2.0. Okay, look at that. bit of a cocky kind of thing going on there. Yeah. So, so Tron Uprising and Tron 2.0, which once again I'm going to date myself. When did this thing come out? 2003. 2003. This was okay. I put this one in a high rank as well. Monolith did this, right? And it was such a beautiful game and such a great story too. Right? I mean, it really felt true to the world, right? And you could throw the disc and you could boomerang it and catch it back. And it was sort of like in the same lines as No One Lives Forever, right? Which introduced the concept of having NPCs having their own conversation, right? Which at the time was incredibly novel. Now it's very common, but No One Lives Forever was the first time I ever noticed in that. I was in the trailer? Okay. Yeah. This is the first time in No One Lives Forever and then in Tron 2.0 where they had these characters, and if you like came around a corner, if you stopped, they would just sit there and banter, right? For like the longest time, you know, and it was so fantastic. So absolutely loved Tron 2.0. That was one that actually, in this day and age, is rare that I ever go back and load up an old game and replay it again. But Tron 2.0, I did actually go back and play it and beat it twice. You know, and the older you get, the less time you have to do this kind of crap. So that's a testament to how amazing I thought Tron 2.0 was. So, excuse me. So the game, which obviously predates the movie, but the game and Tron Uprising are much better stories than the first Tron movie or the second Tron movie, which is sad to say, but true, in my opinion. But there you go. See, now I want to go back and play this. I would love... Okay, there we go. I've officially said I would love to make a Tron VR game. You know, someone get Disney on the line. Tell them I want to make a Tron video game in VR. Oh, man. All right. So now I'm just bantering. I guess I should wrap up. So, anyways, I got a little ahead. Anyway, but you can see, I don't do that much here. I check the lip sync here one more
Now
time.
on board, sir.
Terrific. Good riddance to that whole planet.
Yeah. Okay, that's working for me for the most part. I need to bounce the nose a little bit because right now the nose is just sort of like
Terrific.
drifting
Good
off the
riddance
top
to
of
that whole
the ridge of the mouth there. But I can go back and fix that. But there you go.
good riddance.
So I made a little ways. You can see how I kind of got like
Terrific.
a slow start there with a terrific word, just because I had to reacclimate myself. But when I was getting through
riddance
here,
to
that
that
was
whole-
starting to go a lot faster. So it just sort of comes back, right? The best tricks for trying to get the best mouth shapes. You know, as you saw, it's very rare that I use just one. You can see like multiple mouth shapes to get one, blending all that together. And it's just, that's always a better thing to do too, is having multiple. That way you don't have the mouth do this, right? You have more of it doing, you know, well, more like this, you know, where it's, you know, there's a lot more play in it. So, anyways, what do you say? Should we wrap it up there? It's about 3:15, and I know that there's a dog outside my door that is just waiting for her big moment. So, I think it's time to go in the backyard and throw the disc. Yeah, there you go. Do it one time virtually, and then I'll let the real one come in. Let's see. There you go. There, you in with the catch. All right, so let's do the test. Let's see if she's waiting. Oh, I see a shadow. She's there. There we go. Hello, dog. Oh, jeez. She literally saw me an hour ago, right? So, throw the disc. That's it. I gotta like get a frisbee that's all lit up. I mean, the TV show Lost. How's Penny reminding you of Lost? No, for her. Okay, one more time. Penny, your audience awaits you. Come on. This is the only reason people watch this now, so it's to get their Penny time. Name Penny. Oh, yeah, okay. She's in one of the best scenes. Which one was that? Which one was that? Refresh my memory. It's been a long time since I actually watched Lost. The scene was not Penny's boat. Bort. No, boat. I need more context there. okay. Got it. She'll tell time and that's the scene. Okay. All right. Well, she's getting impatient, so let me wrap it up there. Ricky Lucchini, thanks for coming by, guys. Thanks again for chatting up, talking video games. I love talking video games, and it gives me a chance to not work. Thanks, man. Ricky, you as well. I will be back here on Friday, 2 p.m. That'll do it for me. I'd say go look for the Discord channel. I look for the stream, but you can find it on the Twitch page here. So definitely join me on Discord if you're not over on there. You can always catch up with me there. But until then, guys, have yourselves a fantastic Wednesday, whatever's left of it for you. And I will be back here on Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 p.m. GMT. Hope you guys can make it back. Until then, it's already, yeah, see, I'm so far in the past, man. That's my life story right there. All right, guys, take care of yourselves, and I will see you again on Friday. Adios.